Today's lecture will be mostly about the basics and the introduction about the class. So to understand the computer vision, let us first understand what is human vision. And once we understand the human vision, then it will be very easy to follow what we exactly we are going to do in computer vision. So when we say human vision, what we exactly mean by that? We basically mean that through human vision, when we through our eyes, when we see something, our mind processes that, and then based on that, we get some interpretation of the scene that we see, and then based on that, we take certain actions, right? For example, if you are, let's say, in your room, and you have to go out of the room, then you see around, see the door, and based on that door, your mind says that you should walk in this particular direction to go out of the room. So you go walk in that direction and then open the door and then go out of the room, right? So like that, the human vision works. Now, we actually want to do the exactly same thing with the help of computer vision. So in case of computer vision, in case of human vision, we want to see through our eyes and then want to interpret the images. And then, based on that interpretation, we want to take some actions. The same thing we want to now try to do using computers. So when we do the same thing, what we do using in case of human vision using computer, it becomes computer vision. So if you see the definition, it says that in the computer vision, we are going to do understanding of real world images, or with the help of images, we are going to understand the real world. Right? In detail, what are the things computer vision does? With the help of our human vision, we can recognize people, we can navigate through the obstacles, as I just said. If you have to go out of the room, we have to find, we have to see all around and then find out which way we should walk. So that kind of actions we can take with the help of our human vision. Similarly, we can understand the mood in the scene. If we see some picture, we can find out whether the person is sad or happy and things like that. Even in case of human vision, if we show you a picture, we can even draw the story out of it. Right? So a lot of things we can do through human vision. You can in reality, you can say infinite things we can do with the help of human vision. Maybe all those things we cannot do using the computer vision, but we are trying to imitate human vision with the help of computers. Okay, so in case of computer vision also, our objectives are same: understanding the input images, scene which is around us, extracting the information from the scene, and then describe the scene or take any action from those from the information that we have extracted. Okay. All these things we do through human vision, and same thing we want to do with the help of computer vision. So if you talk about machine vision, what are the components of your machine vision? Human vision. In human vision, if you have to use your vision, first you have to see things. So we use our eyes. Then whatever we see, we have to process. So for processing, we use our mind. And whatever we see, that has to be, through our eyes, we basically see a scene, and that scene need to be enlightened, or it need to be illuminated from some light source. If let's say we are in the dark room, we can't see anything. Okay, so exactly say those things are true for the computer vision as well. So in computer vision, as you need your eyes in human vision, in computer vision, we have to see with the help of camera. So if you just see the components of the computer vision, the camera is the first very essential part of it. And then whatever you see, you need to process it. For processing, you need processor or computer. So there's another component here, computer, for that purpose. And whatever you see through the camera, that need to be illuminated through lighting. So the lighting is here. And there is a scene in front of you that you are seeing with the help of camera, and you are doing the interpretation. Right? So always, you can map the computer vision and human vision, and then things will be easy to follow. So what are the components of the computer vision system? So as we saw in the previous slide, we have the images or scenes as input. Then we are applying computer vision. We are extracting some information from those images. And then from those images, or from the information that you are extracting from this module, you are actually doing some kind of interpretation, some kind of representation from that understanding that you get in the previous block here. Now, this process is not always just one way. I mean, it's not that just you take images and then go to computer vision module, get some information, and then you do the interpretation, or take some, steps out of that interpretation. It may be, kind of feedback mechanism. I mean, there may be a feedback kind of mechanism. For example, whatever you have seen through your camera and whatever interpretation you got from your computer vision block is not appropriate. Then again, you have to go back, and then again, maybe you have to take a picture again. Then again, you have to apply the computer vision module here, or the processing that you do in computer vision, and then again, you get a new kind of interpretation. Okay. One example could be, let's say you want to recognize a person. You have multiple poses of the person. You first consider as input the frontal pose of the person, and then with the help of computer vision module, you are expecting some features of that person from the given image. And then based on that, those features, you try to recognize the person here. But let's say the image was not very good, and you could not recognize the person. So what you will do, you can again go back and then take the another image. If the person is standing there, you can directly take the image. Or if it is offline process, you can take the another image given you for that person, and then again you apply the same process. Right? So that's what we mean by this feedback mechanism. So you get interpretation here, you visualize it, and if it is not appropriate, again you can go back to the input and take the new input and then do the further processing. Okay, so and you may have to iterate multiple times to settle down. It's not that it is just one round or two round or three round. Sometimes you may have to take a couple of rounds to finalize the things. Now, let us talk about the difference between human vision and computer vision. So whenever we see something, whenever we see any object, for us, the object is an image, right? Or whatever we see, whatever scene we see, that is like for us, it's an image. But when it goes to the computer doesn't know whether it's an image. It's let's say it's an image of a person, or it's let's say some vehicle or some object. It doesn't know. For computer, everything is number. And since image, and I hope you know, every images. Like if you're talking about the image that I'm showing here, it's a grayscale image where every pixel or every component of the image is represented with a number, which is actually telling the illumination or the intensity part in this image. So since we have a grid kind of structure in the image, and if you are representing every pixel by a value, or the intensity of every pixel by a value, then you will get a 2D grid. So for computer, every pixel is a value. So when you put them those pixels together, it becomes a matrix. So for computer, whatever input you are giving, it is a matrix. Now, as long as we are talking about grayscale or black and white image, the matrix is just a 2D matrix. But when we will see the color images, we'll see that this matrix will have 3 channels representing the 3 individual colors, R, G, and B. If let's say the image is represented in R, G, and B. Planes. Okay. Now, in computer vision, you will find there are a lot of techniques available. A lot of techniques are there. Now, which technique to use for a particular task, this depends on the problem. As I have given you the example here, let's say you want to do the face recognition. So then you will use a particular technique. But let's say you want to navigate a robot, then the technique will be completely different. Whatever you are using in the face recognition will not be suitable for the robot navigation, though both are having the similar kind of input. In face recognition also the input is image. In case of robot navigation also the input is an image. But the technique that you will follow here will be very different from the technique that you are going to follow here. All right. So what technique you are going to choose for a particular, to solve a problem, that depends on the problem. So it is going to be a problem specific. And sometimes you'll find that for a particular problem also there are multiple techniques. For example, in face recognition, you may have several face recognition techniques. Now, which one to use? So there is no fixed rule. Based on your input, your ambience where you are capturing your input and things like that, you have to choose a suitable technique. So whenever you are going to apply any computer vision technique, there is going to be a trial and error phase. right? I mean, at the first instance, you may not find the right technique, then you have to go for the another technique. If that technique is also not suitable, maybe you have to go for the another technique, and like that. And sometimes when you are using a particular technique, there must be some parameters which are defining the technique. So then you may have to iterate through your parameters to choose the final parameters. So for that reason also, you have to apply some kind of trial and error, or you have to apply a kind of repetitive process. Sometimes the experience may help you in choosing a technique. For example, you have worked in certain domain, and you know that for this kind of task, this particular technique may be useful. So if you have some prior experience that you can use to, find out the suitable technique for your task. Okay, let us see some examples. Where the techniques that you are using will be different. For example, I just said face recognition versus robot navigation. So whatever you are going to use in face recognition, it will not be useful in robot navigation. Similarly, if you take another example, let's say in this case, the problem is to classify the remote sensed images, or let's say the problem is to classify images taken through satellite. Right? So let's say our objective is to find out what are the places where the forest is there, and what are the places where the buildings are there, or man-made structures are there. So you will apply some kind of analysis. Normally for this process, texture-based analysis is applied, because textural pattern, if you see for the jungle or for the forest, the textural pattern will be very different compared to what you see for a man-made structure. So you will, let's say you are using textual analysis for analyzing the remote sense images, but that textual analysis will not be suitable for indoor, classifying the indoor and outdoor images, because when you are doing indoor and outdoor classification, in that case, your images might be very different compared to what you see in case of remote sensed images. So whatever you apply for remote sensing may not be applicable for classifying the indoor and outdoor images. Similarly, let's say you are doing, you have application for the character recognition, you have application for the speech recognition. Now, whatever you are using for the character recognition is obviously not going to work for the speech recognition. In this case, the reason is that the type of signal the type of input that you are going to get is very different, right? So depending upon the problem, you have to basically choose suitable technique for that. Now, if you just see all the kind of tasks that we do in computer vision, you can classify them in one of these tasks that I listed here. So you might be doing through the computer vision, you might be doing image representation, you might be doing image description, you might be doing feature extraction, or image matching, or stereo image processing, range data processing, image segmentation. These are some of the tasks, the common tasks that we normally do when we perform any computer vision task. Okay, like for example, in case of face recognition, what we do feature extraction and we do image matching, right? Or similarly, let's say we want to see multiple pictures from the scene, and then using those cues, we want to create a 3D structure. So you might be doing range data processing, right, and things like that. In the previous example where I said that you are, let's say, classifying whether in the satellite image the area is contains man-made structures, or it contains buildings. The forest. There we basically do segmentation. We want to segment the given image, and we try to find out whether it's a man-made structure or it's a forest. So that's a segmentation problem. So in general, in computer vision tasks, we might be doing one or multiple of these tasks. Some of the applications where we use computer vision, I've just listed a few of them, but there are so many, like character recognition, document processing, biometric application where you do face recognition, fingerprint recognition, and so on, forensic analysis, pose and gesture recognition, automatic inspection of industrial products, in automation, in industrial process monitoring. There are so many biomedical applications. A lot of computer vision application is in military, in robot navigation, as we just discussed, in remote sensing, in analyzing the satellite imagery. So there are a lot of applications of computer vision, and whatever list you see here is maybe very insignificant compared to the places where we can apply computer vision. Okay, there are a few more like GIS, safety and industry, like normally we use night vision camera for that. In traffic monitoring, in sports, in entertainment and virtual reality, all these places we use computer vision. Now, there are some related fields, and sometimes when we study, let's say, computer vision, we are confused whether this is, let's say, there's one common confusion: what is computer vision and what is image processing? Because image processing also deals with images, and computer vision also deals with images. So this confusion may come that what is the difference? Okay, so though, like when we go in deep, we will find that this difference that we are going to discuss will become very less, or maybe sometimes the difference may not be there, or it may be very difficult to find out whether it's a particular application is an image processing application or computer vision application. But grossly, like whatever we are going to discuss, based on that, we can decide whether it's more towards computer vision or more towards image processing. Okay, so in computer vision, our inputs are images or scenes, as we discussed, but output will not be images or scene. From those images or scene, through our computer vision processing, we will extract some information from that. Right? So output is always going to be some information. That information may be represented in terms of some scalar value, or it may be represented in terms of some vector, or it may be represented in terms of a matrix, right? Depending on what kind of output you are getting, or what kind of representation you are going to have, the representation may change. But one thing is, certain that whatever you are going to get is not the images. You are going to get some information. If information represented in terms of a scalar value, or represented in terms of vector, or represented in terms of matrix. For example, if you see here, let's say you are doing the face recognition task. So to do the face recognition task, normally we extract some features, some unique features from the images, and then we match them. Okay, obviously, as you see here, if you have to recognize two images, we can't match directly those images, because as these two images belong to the same person, they are looking very different. So you can't directly match those images. So you have to extract some features, and then from those features, we have to find out whether the images are not matching or not matching. So what kind of information you are going to get from this application? You are going to get whether the two images are same or not. So what kind of output you are going to get? The output is scalar, whether the image is matching or it is not matching. So 0 or 1 you can say. So in this case, the output is scalar. But let's say you just consider the computer vision task of coming from this place to this place. That means from image to representation. It's a representation. So in that case, you can say that the output is just a vector. It's not a scalar, it's a vector. Sometimes we'll see that images are represented in terms of 2D matrices. Features are represented in terms of 2D matrices. So then in that case, the output will be a matrix. So in summary, the output of a computer vision system is going to be some representation of the input that you have provided. That representation could be in terms of a scalar value or a vector or a matrix. But if you see any image processing application, here the input is an image and the output is also an image. So input is an image and output is also going to be an image. Now you might be thinking, what is the difference? If the input is also image and output is also an image, then what we are going to do in between? So many times we find that whatever input we get, it is not of good quality. Let's say this is one example where the image is of not good quality. You want to improve the image. Image has, let's say, noise, or it is blurred, or it has contrast problem, or it has some geometrical distortions. So you may not be happy with that image. So how will you improve it? Using an image processing application. So you have input image here, and you apply some image processing here on the image, and with the help of that image processing, we are believing that we are going to get a better image. Okay, so in this case, when you are doing the image processing, it is going to be, in this case, input is also going to be an image and output is also going to be an image. So, this way, I guess you can get some idea about difference in computer vision and image understanding. And there might be some, so if you see, let's say, if you do the computer vision task, here it looks like let's say our input images are of not good quality. Then what we will do, we will apply image processing application. Let's say the face that we are getting doesn't have a proper, let's say, contrast, or it is noisy, and you want to improve it. So what you will do first, you will take this take the input image, you will apply some kind of image processing on that, you will improve the image, and then later you will use it for the recognition. So from this process, it looks as if in any computer vision task, first you may have to do the image processing and then you have to do the computer vision, right? But it may not be always true. Sometimes you may have to again go back and forth. You may have to first use image processing, then go for the computer vision, and then again come back for the image processing, and so on. So this is an example here that I've just taken. So for example, let's say in this task, our objective is to, let's say, beautify the face. We want to do some kind of facial retouching, and we want to improve the quality of the face or the appearance of the face. So how will you, I mean, what can be the steps for this? So if you analyze it deeply, we cannot directly actually take the image and then apply the image processing and get the final output. The reason is that the kind of improvement that you are, let's say, going to do in this region, they are going to be very different from what you are going to do in eyes or what you are going to do in lips, right? For example, lips, maybe you want to make them more red, but you don't want to make the eyes red, or you don't want to, let's say, make the cheek part that red. So if you want to improve the quality of this image, first you have to detect various components of it, like where is the eye, where is the cheek, where are the lips, and so on. And once you get that information, then you apply the image processing and then improve the quality. So in this application, let's say you are going to use the face for the face recognition. So from the face, first you are using computer vision to identify those components, and once those components are identified, then to improve those components, you are applying image processing applications to improve the quality. And once the face is, let's say, improved, then you can again further go and use them for further applications. Right, so you see here, first you are using computer vision, and then image processing, then again computer vision, and so on. So there's no fixed rule that you have to first use image processing and then followed by computer vision. You may see, I mean, again, feedback kind of thing here too. Okay, there's another field which is, I mean, normally we will talk about is the machine learning and deep learning. So in computer vision tasks, we will be actually applying the techniques from the machine learning and deep learning. And let's say, just to understand this. So for computer vision, actually the machine learning or deep learning are going to be provided as a tools. Okay. So let us consider this example where we are going to, let's say, in a given picture, we are trying to find out whether the face is a male face or is a female face. Let's say we want to do gender classification based on face. Okay. What is, I mean, so let's say this is the problem given to you. In what category you will keep it? Will you consider this as a computer vision task? I mean, yes, right? Because from the images you are going to get some information. You are going to get whether it's a male face or female face, what is the gender, and maybe based on that classification, you are going to do certain more things. Right? For example, in case of a e-commerce website, based on who is browsing, you may try to suggest some products, right? So in that case, gender classification is one computer vision task, and then based on that, let's say you are figuring out the related products. That may be the another follow-up task for that. Okay. So here you are basically going to do, implement a computer vision task. But to implement this computer vision task, you need to classify whether the face image that is given is a male face or it's a female face. So for that classification, you need a classifier, right? Or you need some kind of learning. You need to learn from the images. So how will you do this learning? This learning is to be done with the help of machine learning or deep learning. I mean, the common tool that we use nowadays. So if you compare the computer vision and machine learning, you can say that machine learning provides tools for computer vision. So maybe you can say that computer vision is a super task where to implement multiple tasks, you need machine learning. Machine learning might be required for some other kind of applications also. But here, you can say that even for the computer vision, this becomes a kind of subset field which provides relevant tools to implement the computer vision task. Okay. There are some other related courses also, which commonly we'll refer in computer vision. Like some of them we already discussed, like image processing and machine learning. We already discussed. Pattern recognition is also another field from where also we from pattern recognition also we borrow a lot of techniques to implement the computer vision task. Okay. The gross difference between the machine learning and if you compare machine learning and pattern recognition, at some places you will find that they are related, but the gross difference is that in case of pattern recognition we talk more about feature extraction, selecting good features and things like that, but in machine learning we talk more about classification. Similarly, deep learning is another field which we can use to implement computer vision tasks. Artificial neural network. Nowadays all the deep learning mechanisms or all deep learning techniques are actually implemented using neural networks. So you can say that they are now almost common things. Computer graphics also may be required. Let's say you are doing some kind of virtual reality application. So their computer graphics may be required. Some kind of optimization may be also required in various tasks. Fuzzy theory and I'm not going into detail about this, but fuzzy theory is also one field which is required in certain computer vision tasks. And if let's say you have developed some algorithm and you want to realize on the hardware, then you should know a little bit of the VLSI and computer architecture and some fields like that. So these are some related courses or related fields which we may talk about during the course for various applications. Now, what are the topics we are going to cover? So in this course, mainly we are going to discuss, primarily two things. One, some image processing applications using which so ultimate task is in the computer vision is to get some information out of the images. But if the images are of not good quality, then it is difficult to get the right information or the good information from the images. So for computer vision, the essential part is image processing. So first we will discuss some of the techniques from the image processing, and then slowly as we advance, we will go more towards this computer vision. So initially we will be discussing IP, image processing, and then as we go towards the end of this course, we will be moving more towards the computer vision tasks. Okay. So these are the techniques. Some of the techniques are listed here in image processing. We will be discussing histogram processing, Fourier transform, convolution and correlation, image enhancement, edge detection, morphological operations. These are some of the topics that we will discuss in image processing. Then we'll go to little advanced topic of half transform. Then we'll also discuss some statistical techniques like least square fitting or PCA, principal component analysis. And then some feature detection and description techniques like shift and SARF. We'll also try to see segmentation. Then optical flow, which is normally used in tracking, object segmentation, object recognition, and at the end maybe some pattern classification problem. Okay. Okay. What are the prerequisites for this course? Prerequisite not in the sense that you should have done this course, then only you can join this course, but at least you should have some understanding of these courses. For example, we will be using here basically linear algebra, so you need to have little idea about matrix operations. And then we will also talk about probability in some techniques, so you should have some idea about probability distributions like binomial and other distributions. And we will be using a little bit of calculus, so I think you should refresh your refresh yourself with respect to differentiation and integration. And for whatever techniques we are discussing here, we will be implementing using computer. So if you want to implement anything using computer, you need to know some programming language. So you need to have some idea about some programming language, either C, Java, MATLAB, whatever you are comfortable with. Little bit about idea about the data structure, like what is an array, what is a matrix, how these things are represented in computer and things like that. Some basic programming knowledge, like you should know at least one language. If you know MATLAB, that is also fine, or C or C++. At least you should have some idea about one language. Most of the applications that we are going to discuss here can be easily implemented using MATLAB. So if you don't know anything, and if you don't know any language, then I would request you to go through the MATLAB tutorial and then learn some basics of it. And as such, there is no prior knowledge of the computer vision required for this course. So whatever is required, like we will be discussing in computer vision, we will be discussing some image processing applications. So we'll first cover those applications and then we'll talk about them when we move to computer vision. Okay. These are the textbooks that you can follow. I mean, initially for our first two topics, we are going to follow digital image processing by Gonzalez. And when we move to computer vision, we will be following a book by Forsyth and Pons. And occasionally, we may be referring the third book, which is again for the computer, for the image processing. These are some journals which you can refer. So we will be also having a project in this course. So to get a project problem, you can refer these journals and get some idea. I will be sharing this video with you. So, and yeah, video will be shared with you. So you don't need to, worry about this, the list. You will be getting it later. There are some online resources which you can utilize, like CV Online provides a lot of computer vision libraries. Computer vision homepage is there, which also provides a lot of computer vision libraries. So you can go browse through them and then you can get relevant functions from there and use them. Right. So with this, I'm just ending the class, and after this we'll discuss about the evaluation of this course.